Welcome to the Football Den. I'm your host, Den. And guys, I'm sorry. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. And that's has all, I'm going to take all accountability for that. I should have been on here giving my takes and being consistent week by week, but I haven't. So we got some things to talk about today. This won't be a long pod, but after this pod, I will do a podcast tomorrow, day after that, and the day after that. So it's gonna be a daily pod from now on when it comes to the football den, and it'll be like that pod will be coming back soon. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna bring some new people in to do it with, or I'm just gonna do it by myself. So bear with me on that. Before we get started, hope everybody having a great night. It's been a long day for me, but I had to get on here, talk about week 8 of the NFL season. So we got some things to talk about today. Like y'all already know, like keeping y'all waiting. So the first thing we're gonna talk about today is the New York Jets. The New York Jets got their first win over the Cincinnati Bengals, 38-39. And a comeback win. Starting the fourth quarter, they were down by 2 touchdowns. Brees Hall scored 2, then he threw for 1 to Mason Taylor to have the game, to be up in the game, and the defense did what they supposed to do, and they got to stop on Joe Flacco on them, keeping them from going to kick a field goal to win the game. And the Jets lead Cincinnati with a W. So congrats to the Jets. Congrats to Justin Fields. Congrats to Aaron Glenn getting his first win as a head coach, because I know he's been 1-1 for a minute. They've been in some tight games. The defense has looked good. They don't have moments, but I'm just happy for the New York Jets, the organization, because it's looked rough for them this year. It's looked rough. Bringing in Justin Fields, and you basically looking at him how he was in those 4 to 6 games with Pittsburgh. People thought that he was going to use that momentum, take from that momentum, and bring it to the Jets, and they should flourish. It didn't happen. The opposite happened. He looked terrible. You know what I'm saying? The timing's off. Always trying to run. Then your passer rating is boo-boo. It's been a long NFL season for Justin Fields, so I'm happy he got that monkey off his back, got that W. But the season still is going to be tough for them. The season still is going to be tough. I like their defense, you know what I'm saying, led by Quinn Williams and Sauce Gardner. Even though Sauce is not the same guy he was his first 2 years, he still is a good cornerback, so I'm not going to hate on him. But I like their defense, bro. Just the offense, to me, is super inconsistent. And I just don't trust Justin Fields as your quarterback. I just don't. He hasn't shown me nothing that tells me that, okay, even though they did beat Cincinnati, they're going to continue to win some games. I just don't see it. That defense continue to play like they're playing, and Justin Fields just make the throws, and the running game is elite like it was with Brees Hall rush for over 133 rushing yards, then I can see them doing something. But I doubt that, bro, because Brees Hall, if you know about him, his history of being with the Jets, he's inconsistent. That's why they drafted the young running back who stayed injured. So the New York Jets, congrats to them beating Cincinnati, because at one point in the game, I thought Cincinnati was finna blow them out. Cincinnati like they were finna put 50 on them. Cincinnati like they was finna put 50 on them. And Jamar Chase, he had a decent game. I think he had 11 catches for 97 yards. Joe Flacco always gonna feed him, especially if you play man on man. If it's man on man coverage, you're finding Chase. It doesn't matter. I don't care who's on him. Sauce, Jalen Ramsey. I'm looking for Chase. You play man, Chase, we come to you with the ball. So I thought Cincinnati was gonna blow them out, but just the running game, the Bengals couldn't stop the Jets running game. They couldn't do it at all. If you just watch that game, they could not stop Brees Hall, bro. Brees Hall, every time he got the ball, 10 yards, 15 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards. He just running down the field, bro. He just kept getting to the second level easily. The O-line was getting the Cincinnati Bengals D-line off the ball. They're putting them boys down the field, getting to the sex level with the linebackers, and now you depend on your secondary to make the tackle. And that's what was happening all game. They couldn't stop Brees Hall. Brees Hall had a wonderful game. Probably, to me, Brees Hall had one of his best games in his career with the Jets. He had his best New York Jets game of his career yesterday. Not yesterday, but Sunday. So I like what I saw from the Jets, you know what I'm saying? Because usually one of those games, based on what we've seen all year, once they're down by 2 touchdowns, they just lay down and just take the L. But I just like that they overcame the 2-point deficit and just kept on. It just kept on coming. And look, now you win the game 38-39. So hopefully they can take the momentum of beating Cincinnati and bring it on to this week coming up, whoever they play against. they can get a W, but I doubt it, bro. Just because just the history, and you can't depend on Justin Fields to be consistent throwing the ball. So that's my thoughts on that. Now on the other side of this, looking at the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm disappointed in Cincinnati. I'm very disappointed in Cincinnati. How they played against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I knew something was up with them because even though they did beat Pittsburgh, something kept telling me, yeah, they did beat Pittsburgh, but I don't think this team will still be good because of their defense. And everybody kept saying, well, wait till Trey Henderson come back. When Trey Henderson come back and with Joe Flacco leading the offense, they're going to be a team. They might win the AFC North. They might can come back from having that 4-game losing streak, winning the game. Now they're finna go on a run, and you lose to the Jets. Help them get their first win. Your defense is terrible. That's why Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns on you. It wasn't coincident that Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns on you. Your defense is just not good. That wasn't a one-time thing. It's a consistent thing, bro. The Cincinnati Bengals defense is terrible. That's why Breece Hall rushed for over 133 yards on y'all. And that's why Justin Fields was running all over y'all. And he was looking like an elite quarterback against the Bengals. If Aaron Rodgers could look like Ben Aaron Rodgers against y'all, then I'm not surprised Justin Fields looked like an elite quarterback against the Bengals, bro. They couldn't stop him at all. They couldn't stop the running game at all. FYI, they couldn't stop Pittsburgh running game. So I'm not surprised. I didn't see nothing different. That Cincinnati Bengals, that's the same defense we saw in Pittsburgh. The difference is they won. That's it. Because Joe Flacco on the offense was killing. This game, Joe Flacco on them on the offense was killing, but then the defense couldn't stop nobody. The defense couldn't stop. They couldn't stop Breece Hall, bro. This wasn't a Justin Fields won us the game thing. It was a Breece Hall, the running back, won us the game. And Justin Fields just made plays and didn't turn the ball over. He made a couple of plays, and he didn't turn the ball over. And that's all they needed for him. We're gonna play through the running game, and we're going to take advantage of that through the play action. And that's what they did. But when I'm looking at people saying, oh, Justin Fields, like, no, bro, everybody should be praising Breece Hall. Breece Hall is the reason why they won that game. He the one that was scoring the touchdowns. He the one that was breaking for 10-yard touchdown. He the one that was breaking that bit, hitting every hole, getting to that second level, making them boys scared to tackle him because you're a running back. Breece Hall is the one, to me, is the spotlight of that game, is the reason why the Jets walked out of Cincinnati with that W. Justin Fields did what he's supposed to do, which don't turn the ball over and be a good quarterback and make plays and throw the ball with timing. And he did all that. He threw the ball on time. He made plays with his legs when he needed to. And he got the ball out of his hands without turning the ball over. So that's all you want from him. And you hope he don't turn the ball. He don't fumble. He don't throw a pick. He didn't do that. But Breece Hall killed. And that's why I'm looking at Cincinnati, which is going to get me into another topic after this one. It's just, the AFC North, all the defense is garbage. The AFC North, all 4 team defense is garbage. I don't get how people even saying Baltimore is going to come back and do something. They lost an inconsistent Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has been inconsistent all year. And now the Ravens beat them. Now oh my God, the Ravens, they're back on track. How? Caleb Williams missing throws all game. They should have won that game. He throwing the ball late. He's not throwing the ball on time. I'm not surprised Chicago lost that game. To me, I feel like Caleb Williams went into that game scary already. He probably was already scared before he even got on the field. So I don't give too much credit to beating the Bears, bro, when we know how Caleb Williams is week by week. I still look at that Ravens defense and say you can still run on them, you can throw on them. That overall defense is suspect. And the O-line ain't that good either when it comes to the offense. So the AFC North is in shambles. When you're looking at the Bengals, they're not that good, man. Joe Flacco had a great Thursday night football game. He had a great game on Thursday night football. But besides that, what has he done? Besides that, what has Cincinnati done? Sometimes we'll take one game and just overreact. We'll literally take one game and overreact. The Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett all mad because of his 5-sack game. Bro, Drake May had a historic game, bro. Yes, y'all sacked him 6 times, but what about how they was Okay, you sacked them 6 times, but can we talk about how they was on their 30 and they still went down the field easily? On this defense, their defense is ass. It just got a great player on it with Myles Garrett. Just like the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have great players, but overall, the defense is terrible. Cincinnati defense is terrible. Cleveland Brown defense is terrible. Their secondary is garbage. Their middle linebackers are garbage. Their D-line is but shoot, if your secondary don't hold up, it don't matter how good your D-line is. The quarterback get the ball out of his hand because your secondary don't hold up, then what can you do? And vice versa, you can have a great secondary, but if the quarterback's standing back there all day because you don't get no pass rush, somebody going to get open. That's Cleveland. Yes, Myles Garrett had a great game. But stop it, bro. The defense is not good. I don't care how mad Myles Garrett is. Y'all still gave up touchdowns. Drake May, didn't Drake May only have like 3, 4, 5 complete incompletions? Threw for like 283 yards and like 3 touchdowns. One of the touchdowns was a bomb. He was dissecting the defense all game. Yes, he got sacked. But to me, that showed I gained more respect for Drake May than looked at it like, oh, the Cleveland Browns doing Myles Garrett a disservice. Drake May's tough. You get sacked 6 times and still get up. Your tackle, your right and left tackle are not giving you no help. Getting whooped all game, and you still get up and dice up the defense and win the game by almost like 20 points. You beat the team by like 3 touchdowns. That shows a lot about Drake May than it does about how good Myles Garrett is. The defense still not good. Myles Garrett can get you 4 sacks. That's cool. But Myles Garrett ain't getting to the quarterback every play. He can't. So those times when he's not getting to the quarterback so quickly, the ball is going to a receiver and they're going down the field on the Cleveland Browns. And it is what it is. They can't stop nobody. Pittsburgh can't stop nobody. You can have TJ Watt. You can have Jalen Ramsey. You can't stop nobody. Even though if we really look at that Green Bay game, Pittsburgh D-line was getting to Jordan Love. It's just the secondary wasn't holding up. The secondary was not holding up whatsoever, bro. Like, if you're going to be honest and not just love to just push the media narratives about, oh, the Pittsburgh defense is just atrocious. Yes, it is bad. The defense is bad. When you look at the game overall, they were getting pressure on Jordan Love. It's just every time they was getting to him, somebody was open because your secondary not holding up. The bum, the Kraft. Kraft wasn't supposed to catch that. That's supposed to be a pick. A dude hit the ball down. Dude not turning his back. Turned his back late. And what happened? Kraft catches it and run that thing down for almost 40, 50 yards. That's not on the D-line. But also, too much is given is required. And when you're TJ Watt making all this money, when you're Hayward making all this money, Hayward stood, he said, as somebody old as Hayward, he need to practice. You too old to sit down. You an old man. Your buddy need to practice. For you to hold out because you feel like they weren't paying you your worth, and now you go out there and you boo-boo. You boo-boo. You don't jump off the screen. TJ Watt don't jump off the screen. Nobody jumps off the screen on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I already told you I like Patrick Queen. I like him. I watch him on Coach JB show. Like his personality. Like him as a person. He's not a number one Mike guy, Ray Lewis type, Junior Seau type, Warner type, Fred Warner type. He's not that. He's a secondary guy. He's your Bart Stark to your Ray Lewis. He's your Navarro Bowman to your Patrick Willis. That's what he is. He plays well when he's the second fiddle. And there's nothing wrong with being that. Navarro Bowman still made 3 to 4 Pro Bowls as the second linebacker. He wasn't the Mike. He wasn't the head linebacker. He was the second guy. And it's cool to be that. But I think he fits well when he's not the leader of when he's not the face of the middle linebacker, but he's the second guy. He starts. He's a starter middle linebacker. But to me, he's not the guy that can lead and be the face of a defense. He's not that. He fit well with Roquan Smith. That's how he made a Pro Bowl. He fit very well with Roquan Smith. You put him in that position to where now he ain't got to worry about too much. He got to do his job and just dominate. He did that. And that's why the Ravens went to the AFC Championship game and lost to the Chiefs. But now you're looking at him in his new role with Pittsburgh. It's the reason why the Baltimore brought in Roquan Smith, because they felt like Patrick Queen, they felt like he just didn't, the role that they had him in, they felt like he wasn't good enough to play that role. So they brought in another guy they felt like was 10 times better than him, and they put him as second fiddle. And he dominated as second fiddle. But him being so dominant at second fiddle making a Pro Bowl got him to deal with Pittsburgh to where they like, okay, he could lead the team. He could be the starting linebacker, the face of the linebacking group. And I just don't see that, bro. I just don't see that. The last 2 seasons, I haven't seen that. The consistency of him as the star middle linebacker. Hopefully, you hope Patrick Wilson does something, number 41, because I know he played middle linebacker too. Hopefully that he can emerge into something. So Patrick can go back to that second fiddle, but it just doesn't look like he don't jump off the screen either. He all right. I'm not gonna say he a bust, because they did draft him in the first round. I ain't gonna say he a bust, but he hasn't shown me nothing to have me like, okay, the middle linebacker for Pittsburgh, they something serious. They're not. They're not. They're just not. So you like the whole AFC North, bro. To me, in my opinion, whoever wins that division is probably gonna be a 9-8, 8-9 team. Like, I just don't believe that Lamar Jackson is gonna come back out of nowhere and the Ravens just are going on a roll when you got a terrible ass defense like that. That defense is terrible, bro. It's terrible. Well, then look what they did to the Rams. The Rams were shooting themselves in the foot all game, doing dumb shit. Well, then look what they did to the Bears. Caleb Williams has been inconsistent all year. All year. One game, the timing, his timing is there. Next game, the timing's off. He just been, it's how it is been. Either the timing is there or it's not. So I can't. Now they finna play against the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins gonna put up points on them. But I think Dolphins gonna beat the Ravens. I think a lot of y'all, if I had to bet, I'm going with the Dolphins. I'm going with the Dolphins. Say what you want about Mike McDaniels. He's a great play caller. He's a good play caller, and he know how to scheme up plays. And his running game scheme when it comes to the slants, the running, how they just the misdirection, the zone read, the zone runs, and all that stuff, bro. They can get the Baltimore with that. I like Achane. Achane to me is a top 10 running back in this league. He jump off the screen every time I watch him. He's a baller. I like Achane. The Ravens not gonna stop him. He gonna put up crazy numbers. Jalen Waddle, ever since Tua has gotten injured, he done took over that number 1 role, and he's flourishing. He's dominating. So all Tua gotta do is not throw a pick, not mess up, not talk too much, and just go out there and play like he did against my Atlanta Falcons, where they spanked us. And I think they can go into Baltimore. No, I think Baltimore can come to Miami, and Baltimore will leave with an L. That's what's gonna happen. I got more faith in the Dolphins than I do in Baltimore. They're both coming in with the same record, 2-6. 2-5, my mistake. But I just have more faith in the Dolphins than the unknown of the Ravens. When it comes to Cleveland defense is not good. So I don't care what Myles Garrett say. The defense is not good at all. They're terrible. There's no way Myles Garrett can come out and make it seem like it was just the offense on Sunday. Because it was not. Last Sunday, I watched the Cleveland Brown team. Offense is atrocious, but the O-line is atrocious. But we never want to talk about it. We're going to keep blaming Dylan Gabriel, Key to lead. We're going to keep blaming the Dylan Gabriel, say that it's him, when the reality is not him. It's the O-line, and he has no weapons outside that's winning their battles. Who's getting separation when it comes to running routes? Jerry Jeudy? Can you even name me 3 wide receivers that play for Cleveland? And you can't name Jerry Jeudy. You can't name nobody. They have nobody. That's Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry is terrible. He's been a terrible GM for the last 3 years. He's been a terrible GM for the last 3 years. Nobody wants to call him out when he's been terrible. Everybody want to look at Kevin Stefanski because he don't want to play Shador. Why we don't look at Andrew Berry and say, well, why are you not picking up better players? Your player evaluation skills are terrible. The people you are hiring to evaluate these players are terrible. Why nobody not holding him accountable? When they call Kevin Stefanski, he's the coach, but he's the one he's not picking the groceries. Andrew Berry picking the groceries. Kevin Stefanski, he's just cooking. He need the GM to pick the groceries so he can cook. And right now they're not cooking because the groceries are terrible. It's bad groceries. The only way Cleveland can ever be good, bro, you just got to restart and rebuild. Go draft a quarterback. trying to see what Shador gonna do for you, trying to give people false hope, thinking that next year is gonna be a better year. If you're gonna try to give people false hope, do that with a rookie quarterback, bro. Not with no 5th-round pick going to his second year. Please don't. The AFC North is just overall is just in shambles, bro. It's in shambles. It's no team that you look at that say, okay, all these teams they make the playoff, they'll be one and done. They all will be one and done. Period, point blank. All of them. Because even though I did say all the defense is terrible, the offense is Joe Flacco's playing well, but week by week, trust me, he's gonna digress. He's gonna digress. Trust me, he's gonna decline, and his play is gonna decline. Week by week, his play will decline. Mark my word, it will. It happens. They're gonna have moments, but his play will decline because teams gonna figure you out. When it comes to the Pittsburgh, I think I don't have no issues really with the offense. I wish the O-line is more consistent through the whole game. Not first half you dominant, in the second half you can't get no push off the line of scrimmage. And I wish Arthur Smith, I wish he becomes a better play caller. If he can become a better play caller, I think Pittsburgh could go off on a run and win some games and win convincingly the AFC North. But Arthur Smith, in just my opinion, DK Metcalf don't get the ball enough for me. He doesn't get the ball enough. You can scheme up plays and call plays to get DK the ball, bro. Y'all just can't be slant route and go routes. Let's set some screens up, get that man the ball, open field. Let's do some other things, man. And can we give him another wide receiver? Can we go find another wide receiver? There's some guys out there. I'll go get Chris Olave. I think he'll love being with the Saints. I know the Saints say they don't want to trade him, but if I'm Pittsburgh, bro, you really got everything. To be honest, I'll give up a first-round pick. Go get Chris Olave. Him and DK Metcalf, that's going to be a great pair. It's going to be a great duo with Aaron Rodgers, especially you want Aaron Rodgers to come back next year. You got to give him 2 solid wide receivers. So you can have somebody to throw to and him not looking around, running around all day, trying to find somebody. Now he got to throw the ball away or he's trying to force something. It's a pick. Now we just blaming him. Well, he has nobody on the team that can get open consistently but DK. But you're not calling plays for DK to get open. You're using DK as the decoy to get other guys open. Guys still can't get open. So what that tells me is Arthur Smith has to do a better job of calling plays. Get DK more involved. Period, point blank. Jamar Chase back-to-back had about over 15 plus targets back-to-back games. How can Zach Taylor do that for Jamar Chase, but Arthur Smith can't do that for DK? I don't get that. Now Aaron Rodgers has to play better too. He missed some throws. I'm not gonna lie, he did miss some throws. But Aaron, he's the most consistent player on the offense. He's been the most consistent player on the offense. And if you're a Steelers fan, and I bet any Steelers fan, the only reason why you have faith in this season, the only reason why you're confident you can win all these tough games, especially with this tough next couple of games that y'all have, is because of Aaron Rodgers. Who else? Because DK Metcalf? No. You don't have no faith in no DK Metcalf. So overall, the team just has to do a better job just when it comes to the play calling. Ravens defense has to play better. Cleveland defense has to play better. Cincinnati defense has to play better. Pittsburgh defense has to play better. So until I see a consistent, dominant defense from one of those 4 teams, I don't know who's going to win, bro. I won't be surprised either one of them teams win. I just know it's going to be one and done no matter who wins. Period, point blank. They're going to be a team. They're going to host a playoff game and get embarrassed at home. That's what's going to end up happening. I know a lot of people, just because everybody like Lamar Jackson, a lot of people think he's the best quarterback in the league. By default, they think that the Ravens are going to come back and win just because they got the best quarterback. But we have seen great quarterbacks play with terrible defense and don't make the playoffs at all. So I'm not going for that. Or Lamar can win you games. Just so you're betting on Lamar to drop 30 while his defense give up 30. And you're telling me that's going to result in a win. No, it is not, bro. It's going to result in Lamar going home with a towel over his head because they lost the game. Oh, yeah, he put up 38. But the other team got 37. The quarterback goes down the field with 2 minutes left on the clock. He goes down the field, kick a game-winning field goal. You lose 40-38. All Lamar do got put up 38. Now Lamar put up 40. But the other team, they got 38. They kick a field goal. Now it's 41-40. Time expiring. So you got to have a good defense to pair with a great quarterback. Period, point blank, if you want to go far. Everybody not taking garbage trash defenses to the playoffs consistently. We seen Patrick Mahomes do it in 2019. We see Eli Manning do it in 2011. But a lot of times you don't. That's not the norm, bro. Majority of these teams that you see in the Super Bowl defenses are good. They either good, great, or legendary. I don't see too many mid defense besides the two examples that I just gave. They take a team to the playoffs and they win a Super Bowl. That's rare. It's super rare. So like I said, for the AFC North, we'll see. I stick my money on Pittsburgh because I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan and I want him to end his career in the playoffs, just like Big Ben did, just like Phillip did, just like my boy Drew Brees. So I'm rooting for A-Rod and the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Mike, if you don't get to the playoffs, you might as well resign, bro. Go somewhere else. Period, point blank. You're the only one that has a quarterback that's been started, that's been there since week one as a starting quarterback. You're the only one. Everybody else done had about 2 or 3 quarterbacks that done started. Besides the Browns, who done had 2, but it's still not Joe Flacco from week one. Pittsburgh's the only team. The guy that started week one is still starting out of all 3 teams in the AFC North. And if you still lose that division, I don't know how you can, after this season, if you're a Steelers fan, that you still have faith in a Mike Tomlin. So we'll see. Next, let's get into the Chargers destroying the Vikings last Thursday. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It really was a boring game. It was a boring game. I knew what was gonna happen. The Chargers are coming off a bad loss to the Colts. They embarrassed you. And now you got to get revenge. You got to redeem yourself. And they did it against the Vikings, destroyed them. What it was, 38-7? Beat them 38-7. You know what I'm saying? Convincing fashion. The Vikings team, man, they got all the pieces. They got all the weapons. They just need a quarterback. They have a good defense, not a great defense. To me, great and legendary defenses, it doesn't matter your quarterback situation. The defense is always going to hold their own. Period, point blank. So I know you got a lot of teams that say, well, the defense, they put them in bad field position. So you're not the 2000 Ravens. You're not the 02 Bucks. Because it didn't matter what field position you put them in. They either got to stop, team punt it, or at least the team did score just a field goal. A lot of these teams, bro, y'all say they're great, but then the team be on a 30-yard line and the team score, you tell them that's the offense. No, the defense got to make stops too. It don't matter where you're on the field, bro. If you're a great defense, if you're a legendary defense that you want to be, it don't matter where you're at on the field, you're gonna get a stop. If you can't do that, you're still a good defense. You're still gonna make plays, get some takeaway, but you're not that you're not a great legendary defense. Like I said, like a 2000 Ravens or 02 Bucks or a 2013 Seahawks team defense. So the Vikings, even though they got Brian Flores, who y'all know my issue with him, I'm not gonna discredit him as a coach. I just don't like the stuff he did after he got fired with the Miami Dolphins. But he's been a great defensive coordinator. And he's a great leader when it comes to play calling on the defense. He's a great play caller when it comes to defense because he just keeps you thinking. Them quarterbacks be thinking like, is he gonna come? Is he gonna come? He just switches it up every play on you. One dude, the safety might blitz you, the corner might blitz you. One middle linebacker might blitz you. Outside man might blitz you. The DN might go out in coverage. So you don't really know, bro. He keep you guessing every play. Every play, he make you think. So I like that about him as a defensive coordinator. And just going against a Chargers team who has to redeem themselves after getting embarrassed by the Colts, they had to win this. It was a must-win for them. The Vikings, the Vikings, when it comes, I knew the Vikings weren't going to make the playoffs in the first place, bro. I didn't have no hope, no faith in the Vikings this year. Just because I know J.J. McCarthy, he's going to have his rookie woes. And that's okay. He's not going to be as consistent as the other guys were that were drafted in his class because they had a whole first year to mess up, to learn, to understand. He didn't. So now he's still learning. This is rookie year, and everybody already getting up on him. I can't do that, bro. I just don't do it. Like even my MPJ, Michael Penn Jr., he's playing terrible. I'm not going to give up on him. Because it's technically like his rookie year. Even if let's say he did play his whole first year, I give quarterback 3 years. Based on where you were drafted at. If you're a first round pick, I give you 3 years. If you're a first or a second round pick, I give you 3 years. If you're a third or a fourth, I give you about 2. If you're anything below that, bro, you get 1 year, bro. If you're not that guy, please go find somebody else that's actually high caliber potential quarterback that we get in the first round. Anything below that, bro, unless you a Dak Prescott, Tom Brady, or Brock Purdy, bro, come on, bro. It's unlikely that you're gonna be a dominant, great quarterback. Even if we give you a second year, it's unlikely. Because if you were, you would have been drafted like one. So I don't have faith in third day quarterback. I'm just sorry. As a fan, I just don't. First day, I give him 3 years. I'm gonna give Penix 3 years. Penix ain't on the clock this year. He's like I said, he need to give us some hope. He's not doing that. So next year, going into next year, I'm gonna be on his butt because you didn't give us hope this year. I said hope. I didn't say, oh, you got to win the Super Bowl. You got to do all this. I just give us some hope. Let's have some faith that the Falcons could be a competent team, a consistent winning team. Can you do that for us? Right now, he's not doing that. He's hurt. He got hurt. So I had to play Kirk Cousins. Hopefully, we're going to see him bounce back to play the next game. I think they play against the damn, who they play against? Oh, man, I just forgot. It's not a hard game. That's the crazy part. Atlanta don't play nobody tough. Hold on. Atlanta Falcons. Who they play next? They play next. Patriots. Ooh, snap. Man. Play two AFC North teams. Play the number 2 seed in the AFC North playoff start. Then the week after that, we go to Germany. We go to Berlin to play against the number 1 team in the AFC in the Colts. If we can beat those 2 teams, I feel like that'll bring hope and faith back to the Falcons fan base. But right now, bro, if you had to be real, just looking at the 2 teams, you can say that the Falcons might go 3-6. By week 11, we might be 3-6. I hope we can beat the Patriots. Hopefully Drake may have his worst game of this year against us. Hopefully Daniel Jones and JT 28 can have their worst games against us of the season. So that's why I hope with that. But going back to the Vikings, they don't have the quarterback situation figured out right now. They just don't. And I don't like I said with Penix, I don't think the Vikings fan base right now, they don't have faith in JJ McCarthy. One, because they haven't seen him. They don't have enough body of work to have faith in him. They don't have enough body of work. When you're looking at him how he played, his first game, he was terrible until the fourth quarter. Then he went on a run and led them like 3 straight touchdowns to win the game, take the game away from the Bears in the comeback game. But besides that, he looked bad against us. We want to see him in 2 games, 2 regular season games. First game, he looked bad first 3 quarters. Fourth game, he redeemed himself, helped them win the game. Second game, he looked bad all 4 quarters. So, and I feel bad for Kevin O'Connell because he's going to get all the blame. You know what I'm saying? So he should get it, though. He is the head coach. But all the blame's going to go towards him because people are going to make it seem like, damn, you made the decision. You made this decision. You made this decision. You made this decision. Why did you take JJ over Sam? Why did you take JJ over Sam? And see, a lot of people don't want to be honest, bro. That was a front office situation, bro. Trust me. The front office of the Minnesota Vikings told Kevin O'Connell, hey, bro, you're going to play JJ McCarthy. We just put a first-round pick on him. We've chosen with a first-round pick. It's too much invested in him. I know you like Sam. He is a great quarterback, but we can't afford to pay him with keeping a first-round pick on the roster. So since we drafted this kid and we still have 4 years to see what he can do, we're going to invest in him and not Sam Darnold. It's a higher up situation. You can't tell me Kevin O'Connell chose JJ McCarthy over Sam Darnold. That's cap. The front office told him, yes, we look good. Yes, we're 14-3. But when the season's over with, we're going with JJ. Starting in 2025, no matter what, JJ McCarthy will be the starting quarterback of the Vikings. And what is Kevin O'Connell going to say? No? And get fired? Hell, now he's going to say okay and do what his bosses tell him to do. Kevin O'Connell went with Sam Darnold, bro. If he had to choose, he went with Sam Darnold, a veteran quarterback, experienced, big arm, threw for 4,000 yards and 35-some touchdowns. Who don't want that guy as their starting quarterback? So you see what Seattle doing? Kevin O'Connell would have picked Sam over JJ. I'm telling you, 100%. I feel that way. But then when the higher ups are telling you, no, you're going with JJ because we drafted him. It's too much invested into him, and he's our future. What you gonna do as a head coach? You're gonna go with who? The rookie kid, the young kid, because it's too much invested in him. He's still young. He's still early in his development. So you're gonna go with that guy. Now, now Justin Jefferson gotta suffer. TJ Hawkinson gotta suffer. Addison gotta suffer because they're waiting on JJ McCarthy to get to Sam Darnold level so they can flourish and be productive. But when you don't have that and you gotta wait on him, your numbers decline. Your numbers go down. And now you go from looking like an all-pro, Pro Bowl potential to now just a middle of the pack guy, not because you are based on your skill set and based on how you play, it's really just on the fact that you don't have a guy to give you the ball consistently. And y'all just struggling on that. You can't find somebody to give you the ball consistently. So once they find, hopefully JJ McCarthy can do that, or they have to find somebody. But until they find somebody that can get those three guys the ball consistently, bro, it's gonna be tough for fans in Minnesota, bro. It is. Because you're bringing out JJ McCarthy back. He's coming back from injury. The last time we saw him, he looked terrible. And I hope he floors. I hope he does good. I'm not rooting against him. I'm just judging him based on what I see on the field. And he just hasn't looked good at all. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I hope he's there. Nah, I gotta go based off what I see. I hope next year he can come out the gate and dominate and play based on learning from his first year of being a starting quarterback. But let's just be based on just this year alone, because we're not talking about next year. We can't look into the future. He hasn't looked good. Hopefully he can. Because come on, Justin Jefferson, he's an all-pro every year. He's like, come on, bro. He's an all-pro every year. His skill set alone is all-pro. Nobody can guard him. He can beat the double team. You want to double him, put two guys on him, he can beat that. Nobody can guard him one-on-one. You can't play man on him because he'll dominate your wide receiver no matter what. He can get to anything you want to do. You want to go outside, go outside. You want to beat you inside, he can beat you inside. He can get anything he wants to do, just like Jamar Chase. Both of them are the best two receivers in the league. And you need somebody like a Sandow that can get you the ball consistently so you can put up those productive numbers. Because Justin Jefferson, with a great quarterback, bro, or just a good quarterback, is easily a 80 to 100 catch guy, over 1,200 to 1,500 receiving yards, and about 8 to 12 touchdowns a season. Which is basically, if you look at that, you put that against, you put those numbers up, that's all pro to just a Pro Bowl number, receiver production. That's all pro to Pro Bowl production. But he can't get that right now. You know, he still get play. He still get catches. Like he had 7 catches for 74 yards. He had 3 more catches. We're talking about over 100 yards. The game before he had over 100 and some change. So he's still there. They still find ways to give him the ball. But you want a quarterback that consistently get you a ball like how Sam Darnold was last year. They only lost 3 games last year, y'all. They lost 4 already. Bro, the fuck, bro? Nigga be calling us, man. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm trying to do something real quick. Hold on. But yeah, it was more of an upstairs decision than Kevin O'Connell. But Kevin O'Connell, he would have chose Sam Darnold, bro. 35 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards, and he made a Pro Bowl. And he was going to be a backup. He was very productive. And now you're telling me you're going to say bye-bye, let him go to Seattle for a guy, a rookie, if you haven't seen nothing of, you haven't seen him do nothing but play in the preseason. You telling me Kevin O'Connell, that's his decision? No. He drafted JJ McCarthy because they felt like they needed to get a young guy in. They didn't expect much from Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold came in and compete with a rookie, JJ McCarthy. If y'all know, before the season even started, before JJ McCarthy got injured, the reports came out, the Vikings was leaning towards going with JJ McCarthy over Sam Darnold. So JJ McCarthy actually beat Sam Darnold out for the job. He gets injured. Now they're like, damn, let's go with Sam. And Sam, he took them somewhere they didn't think they could go, which is 14-3. Now you go 14-3 as a team, and you lose in the first round. A lot to do because Sam was inconsistent, but that was his first time in the playoffs. His worst games of the season were his last 2 games. He got to take that on the chin, which is the last game of the season against against the Detroit, to win the NFC North, the NFC North, then the playoff wild card game against the Rams. That was his 2 worst games of playing with the Vikings. But besides that, he had a great season. Now you're going with JJ McCarthy, who just been bad all season, even though it's been 2 games. And you can't really judge 2 games. Just overall, he's been bad. Come on, bro. What are we talking about? I'm going with Sam Darnold. But when your higher ups telling you, no, we got too much invested in this JJ McCarthy kid, so say bye bye to Sam. You got to do that. You're gonna get fired. We'll replace you. Now you're on. Now your next year. Now you got all the attention's on you. He don't want that. He don't want that. Now he gonna take all the blame. He's the head coach, even though we all know there was a higher up that told him, "Hey, JJ's gonna start." But he has to take all the blame because once you become the head coach, you put yourself in position so you have to take all the blame because you're the guy. You're the face of the team. You make everything run. You run everything. You're the leader. So and he's cool with taking that. But let's stop this notion of, oh, Kevin O'Connell's crazy for taking JJ over Sam Darnold. That wasn't his decision. That was a higher up decision. Trust me. Trust me. I'm going with the best guy. Period. Point blank. I don't care what year you win. I'm going with the best guy no matter what. Sam Darnold was obviously the better guy. And look what he's doing with the Seahawks right now. You don't think the Vikings see that and be like, damn, bro, why did we let that boy walk? You let him walk. You didn't get nothing for him. And you already had him on a 1-year deal. You didn't get nothing for him. And then another thing, too, Sam Darnold wasn't going to take no discount to stay with the Vikings. He wasn't going to do that. He saw the market, saw that he can get a lot of money, and he took advantage of it. So he wasn't going to stay there unless they was going to pay him some money, pay him that bad. Seattle paid him that bad. And based on you look at his stats, he's probably going to make another Pro Bowl this year, back-to-back Pro Bowls, if he can keep up his level of play that he's at right now. He's balling right now. He got 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's balling right now. Can he keep it up? That's what. People have never shitted on Sam Darnold when it came to his talent. They just think that he can't keep his talent doesn't keep up through the whole season. It has to hold. Your talent has to hold up. It doesn't for him. He's inconsistent. He has a lot of bad moments, bro. You look at the game against the Patriots back in the day, 2019, 2020, or I'm seeing ghosts. That's a bad look. Then you look at the Carolina Panthers. They start off 5-4-1. Then they end up losing all the rest of their games, and he looks bad to a point where teammates yelling at him on the sideline, telling him stop throwing picks. It was just he just had a bad first 5 to 6 years. And now you look at last year, this year he's redeemed himself, and he looks like a top 10 quarterback in this league. So that's that. Next topic, what we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about everything. Oh yeah, Aaron. We gotta talk about the Aaron Rodgers versus the Packers. Let's go A-Rod versus Packers. I got a capital A right there. Man, I watched the game last night, bro. Like I said, going with my take about the AFC North being in shambles, bro. You're up going into halftime, 16-7. You're up 16-7. Then soon as halftime's over with, you let the Packers proceed. First 3 drives, they score a touchdown. It's like what are we doing, Pittsburgh? Terrible. I have no faith. Going back, I'm not repeating myself. I just have no faith in Pittsburgh, bro. And Rodgers, he did the best he could. His O-line was terrible. He was moving around early. He was moving around early because he was just tired of just getting put on his ass every play. Michael Parsons. What's my other boy name? Dang, what's my boy name? I know his name. Number 52. What's his name? Dang, what's number 52 name? Big boy. Petty. Rashad Gary. Rashad Gary. They couldn't stop Rashad Gary or Michael Parsons on the edge. They couldn't do nothing. Then Jordan Love, he looked like Jordan Love looked like a Hall of Fame quarterback in the second half, bro. He was making all his every throws, bro. He could not be stopped. He dissected the Packers defense. And they had no answers. And they were stopping Josh Jacobs. If you told me going into that game, then you stopped Josh Jacobs for rushing for over 100 yards, it's probably going to be a competitive game, and it still wasn't. You still lost by 10, even though you were up by 9 going into halftime. Just very inconsistent, bro. When I'm looking at just A-Rod and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they need another weapon. They desperately need another weapon. Their team overall is not good at all, bro. And if you keep up with just thinking that you're gonna go with Calvin Austin-Wala, who's more of a slot receiver, not a number 2 guy. I thought he had the potential to be a 2, but he's more of a slot. You need another guy on the other side of DK. You're gonna have DK on one side, the other guy need a stud, bro. Like I said, Chris Olave. I like the other speedster, Rashad Rashid. I like him. You got to bring in somebody that can give your team that burst and that confidence, bro. And you have another guy that can beat his man when it comes to man-on-man coverage and get open for A-Rod, bro, throwing the ball, bro. The only person getting open right now is DK. But his moments, his ass get clamped up too. So you need somebody that they can win their one-on-one battles, and they can be consistent on, running routes and getting separation. You need that person, bro. You need somebody that can win battles and get, when it comes to winning routes, they can win every route. You're not gonna win, not win every route. Let me not say not win every route, but they're just consistently winning when it comes to one-on-one matchups. You need somebody that can win. Jamar Chase, he consistently win one-on-one matchups. T. Higgins consistently win one-on-one matchups. DK, he wins some matchups, but you need somebody else that can win some matchups. And they don't have that right now, bro. Calvin Austin too small. Yeah, he can make big plays, and you know what I'm saying? He can be a playmaker. But overall, I just don't see him as your number 2 dude, and you're going to win something with him and DK as your 1 and 2. It's not going to work. DK could be your 1, but you got to bring another guy that can be a consistent 2, a solid 2, and they don't have that right now. Everybody else they have besides DK are really more 3 or 4 guys. They want to be under there more 3 or 4 guys. Now, I like the Roman Wilson kid, but they put him more at the slot. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really, I don't know what they're really doing with him. But see, they've watched him all training camp, so they know more about him than I do. But they need to get him more involved, in my opinion, because when they got him involved, he made plays. But I was still, before the trade deadline, I think the trade deadline is November 7th. I'll be on the phone with somebody trying to get a solid number 2. I know the number 22 from Saints. I know they're exploring trading him. I'll go call him and bring him in. I think he could be a decent number 2. He could be a deep threat, and he's a speedster too. And I think him and DK, they'd be very complimentary to one another. He can run routes on you too. So that's somebody I would look at trying to give a 3rd or 4th round pick for to bring him in. But besides that, bro, like I say, Pittsburgh beat the shit out of the Steelers, bro. Steelers had no answers for Pittsburgh especially in the second half. Pittsburgh did everything they wanted to do to the Steelers. And now you're 4-3, and your next game is against the freaking Colts, who's 7-1. They're on fire. They're on the hot streak. They're on fire right now. And if you can't stop Jonathan Taylor, and if you can't stop Daniel Jones, it's gonna be a long day for y'all. So A-Rod, I wanted A-Rod to win so bad against his former team, but his teammates didn't want it as much as him, obviously, because they got their ass beat. So that's my point on that. And guys, I appreciate y'all for watching today. We got 47 minutes. Appreciate y'all for watching today. But like I said, I got to be more consistent, bro. I'll be BSing. I haven't done the pod in 2 weeks, so I'm going to be more consistent. You're going to get more clips from me. You're going to get more pods from me, especially. It's going to be a daily pod every day. I got to talk about something. Even if it's going to talk more about college, too. Got some things in college going on. Tomorrow, Brian Kelly got fired. Deion and them are 3-5. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the threats to winning the college football national championship this year and sleepers. Teams that people might not look at as a contender, but I feel like there's somebody that people might sleep on them, but they might come out of nowhere, and I won't be surprised if they're in the semi or the championship game. And that is including my Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. So that's what we're going to talk about next, and some more football stuff. Hope y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. We out.